Hi, and welcome to Game and Read.
This week we are finally back with a video and we are doing a pairing.
Woo!
We're changing it up a little. Instead of doing all of one pairing in one video, we're going to space it out over as many videos as we want so we can just do it bit by bit and really try and get more in depth with, these things that we spend so many hours reading and playing and discussing. We want to, give that more time.
So our pairing for this week and next week, and maybe the next week, we'll see. But our pairing we're going to be talking about is Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor and Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor.
So first things first, we're going to go over what we picked and the general premise of those two pieces. I am reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, as we previously said. It is a young adult fiction book about this young woman, 19-year-old, I believe, named Karu, who was raised by chimera, which are like demons. Her quote-unquote father figure is this large, kind of bullish, minotaur-y demon named Brimstone. There are other chimeras she interacts with, and she was raised by them and currently lives in Prague, where she is an art student. And everything's kind of fine. She runs errands for them. They collect teeth and exchange them for wishes. And then suddenly some crazy angels called Seraphim come down and blow up all the portals Caro uses to interact with the world that she was raised in, the world of Brimstone and the Chimera. And then suddenly things just kind of get crazy. That's about right where I'm at right now, but that's the general premise. It is demons, angels, neither are necessarily good or evil at this point at least, and some weird supernatural semi-religiosity, at least in, the symbols they use. Definitely kind of devil angel look, and it's very YA.
So I am playing Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor, and the premise of this game is that you are a boy. Can't be a girl. That's okay.
No options.
You're a boy, and I named mine Taro because why not? And you and your friends have been adventuring or whatever in a particular part of Tokyo, and you're getting ready to go home, and there's a lockdown. And it is, at first, you're like, well, wait, this is strange. And they're saying there's like a gas leak or something, and no one really knows. Well, it turns out there are demons that are attacking people, springing up, and you have been given these comps, which are like DS's.
They are explicitly designed after the Nintendo DS.
So you're given these modified comps by your cousin.
No, he's your brother, I thought.
No, he's your cousin.
Oh,
He's your
okay.
older cousin, and he gives you and your friends these modified comps, and you can summon demons. And so then you and your friends, Itsaru,
That's the boy,
and
right?
Yuzu, and other people you meet along the way, you are trying to not die, one, important, I know, and two, figure out the whole demon thing, and three, figure out how to end the lockdown and save everybody who is in, I think it's the Yamana Circle. And so I am fighting demons and trying not to die and trying to escape. And that is the goal of the game, I think, to escape.
Kind of.
As far as I know at this point.
Plot-wise, yes.
Yeah. So that's Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor.
In a nutshell,
In a
kind of.
nutshell.
Oh, I guess one thing about it is that, it is a tactical role-playing game.
Yes.
So the battle system is based on a grid. You move your characters around strategically to get better hits on the enemies, and then when you do an attack, it looks kind of like a more standard turn-based RPG where you select your move, then yada yada yada, and you have... It's tactical mixed with, if you've ever played a Shin Megami Tensei game, their standard combat type.
Yeah, it's not real-time combat. You can take as long as you want to pick your moves, and there's no repercussions or consequences for, spending 10 minutes trying to figure out what you need to do.
Yes.
Which is nice.
And moving around on the grid is definitely vital to landing those good hits and not getting hit too hard yourself.
Yep.
Shin Megami Tensei.
Devil Survivor. So we wanted to pair Daughter of Smoke and Bone and Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor because of their themes of angels and demons and human interaction.
Now, both of these particular works don't have a standard black and white view of the angel and demon spread. They are a little bit more nuanced. They're both accessible to, teens. It's not super deep. It's not super complex. However, angels aren't always good guys by the, basic standard of storytelling, and the demons aren't always inherently evil and terrible. They both have kind of positives and negatives to them. In I Know Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Karu, the main character, the protagonist, is raised and cares very deeply for these monstrous creatures that grant wishes in exchange for teeth. And that definitely seems like evil-ish, but not necessarily inherently. And the angels that come around and hang out don't always seem like the coolest cats.
And in Shin Megami Tensei, the demons are what are initially attacking you, and they still attack you. I mean, you fight the demons. But there's also the demons that you contract with and that fight for you. And so that blurs the line that demons can't all be evil, because some of them will at least work with you and protect you and kill other demons for you, with you.
And on that end, and I'm going to give a mild spoiler for Aaron who hasn't gotten to this part yet, there are a similar angel group that come in that are, I don't know if you've gotten there yet, that are definitely not 100% on the angelic holy side, it seems.
Haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, that really comes in like the last bit of the game, and you're like, whoa, this is a big twist. I didn't give it all away, but yes, eventually you will meet sort of the opposite of the demons. And yeah, I guess spoiler alert to everyone else if you really care about this game and haven't played it yet.
I sort of assumed there would be angels. I did just get to a point at which the angels were referenced. So.
Okay. Well, there you go. So
Angels.
You'll get that soon enough. So they both definitely really have that angels, demons, good, bad kind of situation going on. And the other thing I really liked about pairing these two together, especially once I started reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone, is really the aesthetic that they seem to be going after and the genre they fit in really are similar in the storytelling. They're both about teenagers who are kind of would be considered on the outskirts of social circles, probably.
They're a little bit odd. They're both kind of awkward, arty, misfit characters. Angry. Yeah, they're no one understands them sort of characters.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of forced teen angst in both of these, but while that can get annoying on either side, does make them fit together really well. When Aaron was describing this book to me, I was like, oh, this sounds exactly like this game. That'd be a great pairing. And so far it has been from, the half of the book that I've read so far.
So I've played about 30 hours of Shin Megami Tensei so far.
I didn't know you hit it that high so quickly. Nice.
I marathoned Labor Day weekend, y'all. Put in a lot of hours. But I have played about 30 hours, and I am really enjoying this game. I don't love real-time battles. They stress me out. Like Kingdom Hearts battles stress me out sometimes because you have to chase things and you have to be really reactionary, and that just sometimes is... So I really like the battle system of Shin Megami Tensei, and that you're going on these grids and you get to really take your time picking the moves, and you can examine things and look at the stats and all this different stuff, and it just feels a lot less pressure to get it right immediately. Like, I don't have to necessarily go with my gut reaction. I can stop and think. I can stop and think about where I'm gonna go on the map, which is really nice. I have to say the battles are really hard. I was like plugging along, it was great, and then I hit a wall. and spent so much time just like
grinding.
Oh my gosh, grinding, and it was terrible. It was like, I couldn't win, but I needed to keep battling and then running away, so I leveled up my demons, and it was just really difficult. And I've kind of gotten to a similar place, but I really do enjoy it, and I really like the way of conducting battle and approaching that.
Now, a quick question: this is only the second RPG we've done, because we did this and Ni no Kuni. We didn't do any others that were... No, yeah, I think that's the only second RPG, which are the ones that tend to take, a large time investment compared to more action-y games. So, yeah, I'm glad you've already hit 30 hours. I think my time was...
63.
60. Oh, geez. Okay, you got a little while to go, because I did not play much after I beat the main story.
I figured.
Or you could be ahead of me. I don't know. It's possible.
So the other thing that I'm really liking right now is the way of strengthening your demons and getting new demons. And so you do that by either buying them at the auction, which is, whatever, that's cool. Woohoo. But you also can fuse demons. And the fusion, you get to pick 2 demons, and not all demons can be fused with each other. But you can pick a pair and make a new demon. Sometimes it's a lower level than the ones you have, in which case probably not a good idea to fuse. But in some cases it's a significantly higher one, or it's a different type, or you need to diversify, and it's a really cool way of getting a lot of different kinds of demons and monsters to fight with.
It is common to compare in some ways Shin Megami Tensei to Pokemon in that you are kind of building packs with these weird monsters and having them fight other monsters for you. However, yeah, the summoning or the auction and the fusing is where it really gets different. You don't pick a demon and they're your buddy through the whole game. You toss them in the fusion and make something cooler. And that was something I remember when I first played it that, didn't stick with me right away. I was like, oh, I want to level up my guys. No, you're not worried about leveling up. You just want to get more demons, fuse them together, and that's how you get to that higher tier of guys. So it is definitely different than other RPGs I've done, definitely different than Pokemon. So if you kind of like that idea of capturing things but want it to be a bit more intense and definitely more adult, I would check out one of the SMT games. I really like Devil Survivor myself.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, onto the book and my thoughts, Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I have mixed feelings so far. I think the premise is really good, and that's where I typically fall with a lot of YA books and children's books, where I'm like, this concept sounds really cool, and I get excited to read, and then I start reading, and I go, oh yeah, this isn't at all written for my audience, and children and teens don't always have the best taste in subtlety. I really like when there's a more nuanced character, or you kind of see them develop through the story, whereas Karu seems... I'll give her props. She's not 100% a blank slate like some YA characters. She definitely has a background, but instead of kind of opening the book with that, they do it through a series of flashbacks through her childhood with, living with the Chimera and the Brimstone and all that. And it just didn't, stick with me as much so far.
I do think that Karu really has the potential to be a really cool character, personality-wise and just trait-wise, and has the potential to be deeper. But I do think that you're right. The way that Laini Taylor gives you that information about Karu is in flashbacks, which are not as impactful as if you had seen something of that really strong personality from the very beginning. The first page, first whatever, you really got a sense of her, and I do think that is kind of the downfall of the flashback.
Yeah, I would say, if you take it in a context with comparing it to, say, Harry Potter. Harry Potter, you care about Harry ahead of time because you see how crappy his life is before he gets his crazy powers. And obviously he is a powerful wizard and all that, so it's like, yeah, Karu, they start with her being like already cool as a cucumber, and she's got tons of tattoos and blue hair, and it's like, okay, I get the aesthetic you're going for. And then they'll give her some more humanizing stories from her childhood. I feel like it would have been better if it was like, here's this child living with these demons, and suddenly, in the future, here she is. But it's not how it's structured, and, I can't change that part. Overall, I still think the concept's all right. I like Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor, this has a very similar concept. There's no reason I wouldn't like a different take on a similar idea. So, good idea. I'm not loving how it's going so far.
I do love the teeth collection into wishes.
Oh no,
I think that's so disturbingly cool. That's actually what really drew, I know Peter doesn't love a lot of YA. We've done some YA here on the blog. You can go watch Peter's lackluster reactions
we did
to
two.
them. But when I was trying to think of, he told me he wanted to play Shin Megami Tensei, and I was trying to think of a book, and I was like, okay, I have a YA book, but there's also teeth as wishes, which is pretty
Which isn't
cool.
the part that freaks me out. Really, it's just the characters that bug me in YA books.
That's fair.
No, like Hunger Games, I think is a really cool concept. I don't really have a desire to read those books, though. I don't know.
Alright, that's fine.
Even Twilight is a decent idea.
So that's all we have for the first part of our Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Daughter of Smoke and Bone pairing videos.
That was a mouthful.
They're both long titles. It's a lot of words in this pairing that we've got. So you can find all of our other posts and future videos on this pairing and others at our website, which is gameandread.com.
You can also check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Let's see, we are at Game and Read. So check us out there, follow us, and see everything that we're doing.
And go over to iTunes or to gameandread.com and listen to us as if you didn't have enough of our discussion in your life. We have a podcast. We've got a couple episodes. It's fun. We talk books. We talk games. We talk news about books and games.
What's it called? The Game and Read Podcast.
Of course it is.
Haha, keeping it simple.
So you can find us on the website and on iTunes.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.